Pisces, welcome to your March reading. We are going to do a few different things this month for March. Instead of going at it with a standard question like I normally do, we're just going to see what the cards have to say. So we have a variety of decks, and we're going to pull cards from each of them. So the first deck we'll be looking at is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. Okay, I'm going to pull just one card from that deck for you. We're just going to see what our overarching message from Spirit for Pisces for the month of March could be. Just kind of center myself in this energy for a minute. This is a general reading, even though it's for the whole month of March. It's for Pisces placement Sun, Moon, Rising. And we'll go a little bit more in depth than we do in the weeklies, but it's still a general reading, folks, okay? So we have here the Two of Earth. You can see that card. It's a little bit of glare. Focus. You can see she has these eggs. Just juggling these eggs. The Two of Earth. This would be a different deck, you know, than the standard Rider-Waite type of tarot. So, you know, the author has a different vision, and I don't want to do equivalence, because if that's what the author wanted, then that's what would have happened. So let's take your center card here and just take a look in the book, and I'll read to you the keywords and key phrases. Keywords are equilibrium, flexibility, adaptability, balance, harmony, compromise, confidence, procrastination, and freedom. Key phrases: balancing work and play, balancing responsibility and personal needs, be open to compromise, be confident but grounded, realistic goals and expectations, take stock and prioritize, forgive your limitations, ask for help. So those are your those are the keywords and key phrases around this card. This card symbolizes the importance of balancing work, home, family, and play while remaining flexible and adaptable and meeting your commitments and responsibilities. You are filled with a sense of purpose now, which is great, huh? So this is where you're at as a starting point for the month of March, Pisces. And let's build from there. So we have the Starman Tarot here. This one, we're going to do some cards from there. We've used this a while ago, but it's been quite a time since we pulled this deck out. It's your Two of Earth card. We're just going to be pulling some cards from the Starman Tarot and then some cards from the Modern Witch Tarot to do some clarifying around this message. Balance seems to be a big focus for you this month. Finding that right balance for you between work and play, responsibility and freedom. We have the Alien. It's a major arcana for this deck. It's card number 9. I'll read to you from the book on that. Just going to get one more Starman Tarot to clarify around the issue of balance and responsibility for Pisces in March. Okay. And you have the Princess of Swords in reverse. So, let me put these cards out of the way. Make sure you can see these guys. And I want to look up the Alien for you. Card number 9. I bring back knowledge from distant places. In the Starman Tarot, the alien represents the Hermit card in traditional. It invites you to turn inward, to focus on your internal dialogue, to understand the big questions. The alien is different. He arrives from the void with ideas, wisdom, and technologies, a translucent presence glowing with the sacred geometries and universal pattern of the flower of life. In a world where distance or remoteness enables and creates space for imaginary lives, snapshots of the good life, all glowing smiles, it can be easy to feel estranged, different, and not part of the gang. We simply don't belong. This alien, though, is here to lead you back home to yourself. The alien, the outsider, the rebel, the stranger, the one you have feared yet also secretly desired, is here to remind you that you are perfect as you are, beneath the mask of cruel imperfection. This card is basically saying, when you're working on this balance and finding room in your life for all of the things that matter to you, don't forget that you have no apologies to make. You are exactly as you're meant to be. And don't try to become someone else based on what you believe others are expecting of you. That's the message I'm sensing here for you. I'm going to look up the Princess of Swords language in this book because the presentation is somewhat different from standard tarot decks, and I think that it might be quite an interesting thing to see what they have for a Princess of Swords in reverse. Focus. I forgot that they do this differently. They put the major arcana and then the suit cards follow. And let me find it for you. The Princess of Swords, I call on you to live your truth. Where are you not living your truth, Pisces? Emotions don't get in the way of the Princess of Swords. She almost marvels at the quickness of her own mind to instantly read a given situation, assimilate the many facets of it, contrasting, comparing, synthesizing, and evaluating possible solutions. It is almost a sport for her. Equally an avid raconteur, the beautiful speaking voice and wry wit that she possesses draw out dilemmas, philosophies, and wisdoms in her storytelling, appearing beyond her years. Take a sip of coffee. Princess of Sword indicates brilliance of the mind is at your side, an agile advocate and cutting away obstacles as you scale new heights to success. In reverse, the messenger has lost the exquisite balance between air and earth. Her sword is out of balance, the sword of the critic, which can so shred confidence in one's abilities, is wielded not to solve problems, but now cause injury to those around her and to herself. Disconnected from feelings and overwhelmed by thoughts and ideas, she's unable to focus and bring anything of real value to the table. A physical practice such as yoga, dance, weight training, or running would serve her to get out of her head and into the body while remembering the importance of breaking down any goal into manageable steps. So interestingly, this also relates to balance, right? You're a little out of balance when it comes to head over heart, mind over physical being. It's advising you to make some time for physical activity to get into your body, because your mind could be out of balance because you're not balancing your physical self with your mental self. You may be in a profession that requires you to think a lot, to focus more on what your brain can produce than what your body can produce, and it can lead to being out of alignment there. I'm going to just pull some clarifying cards now from this Modern Witch Tarot deck for you. It really does seem that your focus this month is on alignment in all parts of your life, finding a good balance for yourself, not staying in positions where you're out of balance just because it serves others, not trying to be what others are wanting of you, but what your soul is here to do. All right, let's see what we can get for you. Had one jump out, the Justice in reverse. It's telling me that you don't feel like things are quite right just now. Something doesn't feel like it's aligned properly in your life. That could be leading to this lack of balance. You may be trying to compensate for something you feel is missing. You're working on your skill set, and that's good. Hopefully that's skills related to finding your balance. You regret something, though. You feel like you've missed out on something, and you're having a little trouble shifting your perspective back to what remains. Just be aware of that. It, I think, has a lot to do with this Princess of Swords in reverse, where you're just not being able to think as clearly and sharply as you're capable of standardly. Because you've been working too hard and you need a little bit of exercise. Go for a walk, get some fresh air, hug a tree, ground yourself a little. I think that will certainly help. We can often in our minds, well, for anyone who has a really sharp intellect, like this Princess of Swords energy is indicating that you do, you can get lost in the maze of your mind, and it really is just a human quality that we are able to focus so much better on the negative than the positive. If you think about it evolutionarily, we needed to focus on what would be potentially harmful in order to stay safe. You know, there's no saber-toothed tiger chasing us now, and we don't need to be quite as focused on the negatives, and yet our brains have evolved to really highlight the potential threats in our environment and not to focus so much on the positives. So that's a learned behavior. You really need to learn and teach yourself how to focus on the positives. So it's not uncommon that you might find yourself ruminating on the negative aspects, even if there are positive aspects in your sphere that could be getting your attention. Two of Cups in reverse tells me that this being out of balance has maybe done some harm to a close connection of yours. Maybe, you know, there's complaining because you're always working, or you know, your friends or your loved ones don't feel like you spend any time with them, and you're just trying to keep the balance. You're trying to please everyone. You're trying to be everything to everyone, and you can't do that anymore. You just have to be you. And you have to acknowledge where you've fallen into survival habits that are damaging relationships. The last card out is the Fool. This is a fresh new beginning, a leap of faith into a new way of being. Are you ready for that, Pisces? Are you ready to give it a shot? To leave behind all of the striving to meet everyone else's expectations? To listen to your soul and what it actually needs from you? To find ways, to actively look for ways to simplify. Pulling one now of the Shamanic Healing Oracle cards. This is a new deck that I got. I haven't worked with it much, but let's see what we have. 2, New Beginnings. That's interesting because you had the Fool card and now you have New Beginnings. I'm going to read from the book on this one. This is the deck Michelle Motvas, I believe. New beginnings. How exciting. Your birthday month. Water, emotion, energy, all life-affirming and life-giving. Patience is the key. Once the deluge of emotion passes, you will see that left in its wake is a wondrous new day, a rainbow of possibilities. Do not get attached to the emotions that surround the situation. This will only attach your identification with the emotion itself, giving it more power and hindering the release, so that the door to your new beginning will not open. Sit in the emotion, cry, journal, talk it out with a friend, and then let it go. Perform a ritual if you are called to one. Place your feelings on a bit of paper and let it go, whether through the water or fire, both excellent transmutation elements. Be thankful for the experience of the situation and proclaim to your Creator that you are ready for the newness that is about to come into your life. Fantastic. You have an opportunity this month in March to purge the old things that are not serving you. This trying to be everything to everyone, this overthinking, overworking, not giving yourself any time. You have an opportunity here to let it out, to release it, and to have your new beginning, to have a fresh start, a leap of faith into a new life. This is beautiful. I hope that it's a really transcendental, I think this word. I hope it's a really amazing experience for you. I hope that you're able to give yourself the space to experience a quiet moment of hearing what your soul really wants, what your soul needs to express. I think that this reading, this energy I'm feeling in March is that you've just reached a point where you can't do it anymore. You can't be everything to everyone. You can't deny what you need, what your body needs, what your soul needs, what your heart needs. Your mind needs to take a rest. Your mind has been trying to run the show and fill in all the gaps and keep you feeling pleasure and satisfaction from hollow things, because you're keeping yourself running at such a rate, trying to please everyone else, that you're not really pleasing yourself. You're not giving your soul or your body what it needs. And you have space in March to do that. So I hope that you are able to take advantage of that. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for spending this time with me. It's always an honor to read for you. I hope that it's helpful. I'd love to see some comments from you if it's something that resonates. And I wish you a wonderful March. We'll see you next time. Blessings.